Okay, astrology update. I'm going to talk about this full moon in Gemini. It's fucking crazy. Okay. It's crazy times. So we have the full moon in Gemini happening on the 11th, late at night, on the 11th at about 11 p.m. So yeah, late Wednesday night. Late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. I'm trying to get myself together over here. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the astrology. So let's talk about it. Okay, so at the time of this full moon, the full moon is in Gemini, and Gemini is the sign of communication, right? So it's the most communicative sign in the zodiac. Gemini is about how we communicate our truth, how we share our own unique perspective. It rules our thought process, like how we process our thoughts. The low road of Gemini, it could look a little bit scattered. It could look like being interested in a lot of different things and not being able to kind of choose one thing or commit to something. It could look like just too much mental stimulation, like over analyzing, over thinking things. And so at the time of this full moon, we have a lot of Capricorn energy going on, right? So we're building up to the huge Saturn and Pluto conjunction that is happening in January of 2020. I don't know how many times that I've said this or other astrologers have talked about this. It's a huge aspect that we have going on. So this is kind of the energy that we're building up to, that's like happening behind the scenes. Even though we're like at this full moon in Gemini, we are feeling the effects of the Capricorn energy that we're stepping into. So we have a lot of planets already in Capricorn. We've got Saturn and Pluto, we've got Venus there, and we've got Jupiter, and the South Node has been there as well. So the conjunction that we have happening in January of 2020 with Saturn and Pluto, the two most malefic planets, the two most transformative planets, and this conjunction happens about every 35 years. So for a lot of us, we've never experienced this energy before in our lifetime. And what I feel like it's bringing individually and then collectively as well, there's, in many countries, there's like riots and revolutions going on. And so it's like a deep purging of the old structures, the old systems, the old beliefs that we've followed, the old rules that we've played by. Saturn is very much like the boundaries, the structures that we work within. And Pluto is death and transformation and rebirth and transmutation. So we are kind of rebuilding the foundation of our lives. We are just doing a lot of like deep purging in regards to the old ways that we've shown up, the old ways that we've shared our truth, especially with this full moon in Gemini, the old ways that we've communicated and expressed our truth. So at this time of the full moon, we have Venus in between Saturn and Pluto, and this isn't really a comfortable place for Venus to be. So I feel like there could be a lot of, mental stimulation, a lot of mental chatter going on. And what we need to do is really to get quiet, right? To get quiet and to listen to your inner voice, to your inner truth. I made a video about listening to your intuition a few days ago. And if you need somebody to hold space for you, like I do astrology readings, past life regressions, tarot readings. So if you need somebody to hold space for you and to reflect back to you your truth, but it's stuff that you already know, it's something that's like deep inside of you, then for sure reach out to me, reach out to somebody that can hold space for you and can help you sort through maybe all of the thoughts or the mental stimulation that's going on. Sorry for this lighting here. It's not the best lighting in Mexico, where I'm at least. But okay, so having somebody that can hold space for you and that can reflect back your truth to you, because with the Gemini energy, it can be get a little bit scattered, or you can be playing like devil's advocate, or Gemini is it's dualistic in nature, right? It's the twins. So you could be like going back and forth or weighing the options in your head. But with all this Capricorn energy, it's like we're really being asked to commit to something on a new level. Venus rules our values. It rules how we show up in relationship. It rules what we love, how we express love. And so there could be a reworking around your values, around how you show up in relationship. There's just a deep purging of the old ways that we've shown up within so many different like facets of our lives, within relationships, within our job, within maybe interacting with people on the day-to-day, however it's showing up for you. And you can look at what house Gemini is in for you. So you can, if you know how to pull up your astrology chart, you can see where Gemini falls. 19 degrees of Gemini is where this full moon is happening. So you can see what house it's in to better understand what area of your life it is affecting. And again, if you don't know how to do that, you can book a reading with me and I can walk you through where this moon is showing up in your chart. So yeah, so you can look to that to get a better idea of the area of your life that this energy is showing up in. But for all of us, I feel like this Capricorn energy is no joke, right? It's literally, Capricorn is very serious, very straight to the point, very stern, very like committed. It's just, it's the mountain goat, slowly getting to the top of the hill. It's not about like quick fixes or overnight success. It's like slow and steady, committing to something that feels right to you, something that is going to be long lasting. You're building something solid that you can kind of grow upon. And so again, with Venus being there in between Pluto and Saturn, it could be showing up in your relationships. It could be showing up in regards to what you value, how you make money, your views on money. We're just I feel like we're being asked to commit to our truth, really, in a new way. It's like maybe we've been denying parts of ourselves. We haven't been wanting to fully express ourselves or to fully speak our truth or to fully show up in certain situations. Again, it could show up in many different areas of your life. But maybe there's been a part of our truth that we've been denying or not fully accepting within ourselves, and then not fully, expressing it to other people. And I think at this time of the full moon in Gemini, which is all about communication, it's all about expressing yourself, it's all about sharing your unique perspective on the world, on how you want to go through the world, and what your values are. So it's accepting all of those parts of ourselves that maybe we haven't wanted to look at in the past, or we haven't wanted to fully accept. Maybe we've been afraid of accepting different parts of ourselves, or maybe we judge ourselves and think that, we need to look a certain way, our life needs to look a certain way, our relationships need to look a certain way, everything needs to follow in, this certain way of being, or needs to follow these old structures. And that's what all of this Capricorn energy is asking for us, is to look at the old ways of doing things, the old structures, the old rules that we've played by, and like, is it really serving you? Like, is that really what you want to do moving forward? Because January, we're already in the eclipse. We're already in the eclipse portal, which is happening on December 25th on fucking Christmas. We have an eclipse in Capricorn, a new moon / eclipse in Capricorn. So that alone is a lot. So many things. And so we're already in that eclipse energy. And then after that eclipse, we have the Saturn and Pluto conjunction in January. So it's like rapid growth and transformation happening right now, and is going to continue to happen into next year. I feel like these changes that we're making are very solid. It's like very concrete. We are committing right now fucking Mars in Scorpio, trining Neptune in Pisces. They're both at exactly 15 degrees at the time of this full moon. And so it's like we are aligning, you know, Mars in Scorpio is where it loves to be. It's one of its favorite places to be. So it's super focused and super committed when they set their mind to something like, okay, this is my path. This is what I'm into. This is what my desires are. And they go after it. They pour everything they have into that path. And so I feel like we are, and with it making a trine to Neptune, I mean, our intuition is super strong at this time. I think it's just, again, like I said in the video that I made about listening to your intuition, it's taking the time to kind of be on your own and to allow the external voices to quiet and to really get in touch with what your inner truth is. Not what you've been told you need to do, not what your family's told you, not what society tells you, not what anybody else is telling you or wanting from you. You know, you can feel like you're being pulled in a bunch of different directions. You're trying to, you know, make everybody happy, or trying to like kind of follow the rules and make it work for everybody. But at this time, we're really being asked to break free from the stuff that has been holding us back for so long. Like, this is such a deep internal and external transformation that we are beginning to go through, and that will just continue to kind of to change and to solidify into January and well into next year. I mean, it's crazy times to be alive. A lot of us have never experienced this aspect that's happening in the sky. So the Saturn and Pluto conjunction, you know, Jupiter moved into Capricorn, which is starting off a whole new cycle, a year-long cycle of growth and expansion in regards to what we're choosing to commit to at this time, basically. So whether it's in regards to, you know, your work, you're wanting to show up in your work in different ways, you're showing up in relationships in different ways, you're showing up in your life, you know, again, looking at what house this full moon is falling in for you will give you more insight as to what area of your life it's affecting the most. But yeah, it's intense transformation and change. And another positive aspect that we have happening, lighting is really driving me crazy. In a good way, just kidding. Okay. Another aspect that we have happening is Jupiter is trining Uranus. So that is going on for, it'll go on for like another few weeks, really, until the eclipse. It's Jupiter's at 2 degrees, Uranus is at 3 degrees. So this is a really positive aspect that we have happening. Jupiter in Capricorn, Uranus in Taurus. Jupiter, the planet of joy, of expansion, of abundance, of growth. And sometimes Jupiter isn't always necessarily like positive. It expands whatever it touches. So it's an expansive energy, but it's not always like expansion in the way that you would like it. And Uranus is here to liberate us. Uranus is here to shake shit up, to bring maybe a little bit of disruption and chaos and changes so that you can break free from something that's been holding you back for a long time. So with it in Taurus, it's like shaking up our values, you know, our old values, ways that we value ourselves, ways that we value other things or people or possessions that we have. And with Jupiter in Capricorn, it is about like growth, expansion, abundance in regards to what we're committing to, maybe in regards to our work, in regards to the structures in our lives. So there could be situations, there could be people, there could be different experiences that come into your life, that move into your life around this time, that are opening you up to a new way of viewing life, of experiencing life. So I would just pay attention to maybe any like sudden downloads, flashes of information, people that come in, experiences that happen, and really just letting them happen, noticing them, and kind of like extracting the medicine from all these situations, because it might not be very comfortable at this time. Like the full moon, is a time of releasing and surrendering and letting go, but it's not, and some of the, we've got a lot of stuff in Capricorn. We've got Venus in between Saturn and Pluto, so it's not necessarily super comfortable energy. Like there could be some huge fucking changes that are occurring within your current reality, and I would say to just to welcome these changes, to accept them, and to thank them for how they're asking you to level up. Because basically whatever you're being forced to break free from at this time is what is necessary in your life so that you can kind of move up to the next level, right? Capricorn energy is like the goat climbing up the mountain. So little by little, we are getting to, the place that we're wanting to be, what we're wanting to build on. So yeah, so just noticing these experiences, these people, these things that are happening in your life at this time, and yeah, and sitting with them long enough to understand what they're trying to show you, because it feels like there's just so much like growth and transformation and evolution happening within us each day. Like we're just changing so much right now to kind of, it's like we're adjusting and our body is like solidifying into this new expression of how we want to show up in the world. And I think at this time of the Gemini full moon, that we're really accepting that within ourselves. We're really accepting what our truth is, Sun in Sagittarius, Mercury that's in Sagittarius, and the moon that's in Gemini. So Sagittarius is all about what your ultimate truth is, what your higher perspective is, what it means to you to live a life that is filled with passion and fun and excitement. And it doesn't have to look the way that anybody else is doing their life. That's the point of being here. Like you have to figure out what the fuck makes sense to you, and it's your job to do all of the work, the unlearning, the unconditioning of all of these beliefs, these structures that have been put in place for us around like, this is what your life has to look like. It has to fit inside of this box, and that's very much the Capricorn energy. Saturn and Pluto being the planet of death and transformation. It's like blowing up the box and creating a new structure around how you want to show up and what you want your life to look like. And I think at this time, the hardest thing, or like your biggest enemy is probably your mind, with the full moon being in Gemini. Like maybe the thoughts, or feeling like, oh, it has to look a certain way, or doing the back and forth and being too much like in your head, too much mental stimulation, and needing to calm down, needing to drop down into your heart, into your gut, to listen to your body, to listen to your intuition and what you're being led to do at this time. Because we do have, like I said before, we've got Mars making a positive aspect to Neptune, which is super intuitive. I mean, they're both at 15 degrees. Like this is a beautiful supportive aspect of just powerful intuitive hits coming through to us. So take the time to be on your own long enough to get clear as to what's going on for you internally. If you need help, if you need somebody to hold that space for you and to reflect back to you, what you're saying, what you're thinking, so that you can, it can be reflected back to you more clearly, and you can like untangle maybe the knots that you've worked your mind into. But ultimately, we all have the answers within us, right? So it's just getting quiet and listening to that, and really being led from the heart, being led from our intuition, and trusting that space despite what the mental chatter is saying at this time. Yeah, I'm looking at the chart over here. Okay. Yeah. It's exciting. It's exciting. It's intense. It's powerful. It's transformational. It's everything right now. We're really stepping into something completely new. Yeah, I mean, we're closing the end of the year, and we're approaching in a new decade. So it's a big time, not only in regards to that, but with with the astrology that's happening, the eclipse on Christmas, like the conjunction in January. So just embrace these changes that are happening, or that you're being forced to move into, and know that the Capricorn energy is calling on you, is calling from you a new expression of yourself, a new like leveling up, and accepting all the parts of yourself, and kind of rebuilding in alignment with those parts that maybe you haven't wanted to look at, or you haven't fully expressed. But now we are at a place where we can fully accept all of the parts of ourselves. We can fully accept what our truth is, and we can now build something long lasting with a new foundation of our choosing, of how we want to show up. Yeah, and what we want to commit to, and what our values are now, after we've had like the whole year of fucking deep internal work. We had this, Mercury retrograde in Scorpio for a long time, the eclipses in July, the Cancer energy. Like, we've done so much internal work this year around our wounds and our patterns and our cycles, and we're just at a completely different place right now, and we're ready to step into something new. So get your mind out of the way and listen to your heart, listen to your intuition, and be led from that space. Okay. Yeah. That's all that I have to share. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this supports you at this time of the full moon. If you would like to book a reading with me, I do astrology readings, past life regressions, tarot readings. I would love to hold space for you. I'd love to go through your chart. We could go into a past life and better understand maybe any of the patterns or cycles that you're currently working through. You can reach out to me through my site at cosmicguidance.online. And happy full moon in Gemini. All right.